Hi everyone, my name is Serena. I lead the High Five team here at Radius, which is Hospitality in God's House. Basically, it's our welcome team, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my story of how I found Radius and how it changed my life. So, do I need to hold this the whole time? Okay. It's a raw video here, guys. All right, so basically, taking us back to maybe 2016, I was still pretty new to the area. I moved here from Orlando, no family here, and I was in a pretty dark place in my life. I was a heavy drinker, hanging out at the bars often by myself. I was actually on antidepressants at the time, so it was pretty medicated, and going out almost every night drinking. So not a very good time in my life, but I felt God was trying to call me back to him. And so it started with a small step, just turned on the radio and started listening to, it was either Joy or Spirit FM. They encouraged us to find a church. I had tried to find churches a few times. I tried a couple big churches and they were always very nice, but I just kind of felt like I was lost in the sea of the masses and didn't really find any personal connections. So I thought, okay, let's try this again. Hopped on Google and I was searching, non-denominational, Acts 29, what could I find? I saw this church and I just felt like their website looked kind of cool. Had people, roughly my age in the pictures. So I was a little too shy to come by myself. I asked some friends and 2 friends came with me. When we came, there was this nice bearded man who welcomed us and gave us cups and led us right to the front row of a very small gathering, intimate small gathering. Of course, I felt very uncomfortable, but I remember feeling different, that this might be what I was looking for. Then they did Shake Up, where everybody got up, said hi. It was a very friendly environment. Again, I was very uncomfortable. I kind of liked it. And then the bearded man got up to preach. It was the pastor, Pastor Blake. So I thought that was really cool because you don't really often see your pastor greeting people when they come. A lot of times in, my experience in larger churches, you barely get to say hi to them. And so really enjoyed it. However, the next following week, I was probably too hungover. And so probably a couple weeks went by. Then my mom came to visit me. I'm like, okay, there's this really great church. You got to come with me. You got to check it out. Because I was still too shy to come by myself. So I brought my mom and no one was there. It was really weird. I'm like, where the heck is everybody? I swear this is the right time, the right place. Found out they were doing beach baptisms that morning. So I was like, okay, all right, I guess we'll try again. So a couple weeks go by, I asked my neighbor, you want to go try this church with me? She's like, no, come to my church. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I'll come to your church. So we go to First Baptist Church of St. Pete. It was very nice. Immediately, I opened the pamphlet, and this is probably one of the rare times in my life I can say I directly heard God's voice, right? I opened it, and it was a mission trip to Costa Rica, which I already was in love with the country, Costa Rica, from my business travel there. Loved the country. And I was like, that's it. I'm going on this mission trip. So I walk in to their meeting after church. I don't know anybody. I'm not even a member of this church. I'm like, hi, I want to go on this mission trip with you. So I sold my TVs. I worked extra shifts at the bar because I was still struggling with that. And I paid for this mission trip. But I kept feeling this calling, like, gosh, that church though, that one church, I only went one time, but I really liked it. But I should probably start going to this church now because I'm going on a mission trip with them. So I'll go here. And the guy who was leading the mission trip, organizing it, was like, okay, we're collecting shoes. So this coming Sunday, we're going to actually go to this other church and they're going to pray over us. It's like, okay, cool. What church? Radius Church. Not making this up. I was like, what? How are you connected with that small church? I guess I found out Pastor Blake used to be a youth pastor there with them. And anyways, so we come to the church. I was super excited. They're going to come pray over us. And then I found out that the pastor's wife, Amanda, was going to be joining us. So I thought that was kind of cool. And on the mission trip, her and I became friends. And that was when I really knew, okay, that Radius is going to be my church. I definitely wanted to come back to Radius, and I just felt that there was a reason all of this happened, that God connected me back to Radius Church. So that is kind of the when and the how I found Radius. So why did I stay, right? I've been here now over 5 years. Yeah, over 5 years. And it's been quite a journey. I think a couple key things that stand out to me. Obviously, I was, again, a very dark place when I came, but having people that surrounded me that did not judge me really changed my life. I'm sure that there were many Sundays that I came smelling like alcohol, but they loved on me and they never judged me, and they invited me to do more. They wanted me to serve, so I started serving on the high five team actually, and again, they just welcomed me. Everybody was so kind and generous and open. Everybody was very open and sharing their struggles. Like, we all could be real around each other and just, not have to put on this front that you sometimes feel you have to when you go to church. So that was really special to me, and it really helped me change my life. I turned my life around. I'm off antidepressants. I don't have a drinking problem anymore. I'm not at the bar every night. Instead, I volunteer when I can. I'm now leading the high five team. I just have such a passion for this church and what they're doing. Even recently, I just was in awe when I was attending my mom's church, which is a great church. And she's on her high five, her welcome team, I should say. And they were kind of sharing their statistics about how 20%, the average is 20% of the attendees at church typically volunteer. It's an 80-20 rule. It's like, oh, that's pretty interesting, because we're 80-20, but there's about 80% of the people at Radius that are actively serving. So they always are calling us out of our comfort zone, saying, step out of your comfort zone. That's where you're going to meet Jesus. And I have over and over and over again just had the opportunity to meet Jesus in very intimate ways that I never have before. And I really feel like that is because of the people that I'm surrounded with and this church. So that is why I'm here, and I invite you to come join us, and just wanted to say happy birthday, Radius.